It's time for you to give yourself permission to take the fluff out of your IEP to-do list. Welcome to the Special Education Inner Circle podcast. I'm your host, Catherine Witcher, and I've been in the field professionally for over 25 years. And I'll tell you, I have never seen the level of exhaustion, overwhelm, and just chaos that I'm seeing right now. Now, I know that this is a result of everything that's happened in the last couple of years. And we got some things that we need to fix that were broken before the last couple of years, but we can't do all the things that we want to do if we are sitting in the middle of overwhelm. So we're just going to have a really frank, quick discussion about what you can do to take the fluff out of your to-do list. I really mean that. There's so many things that we put on our list as special education parents, teachers, admins, therapists that quite honestly, I'm just going to call it out. They don't need to be there. Maybe you want them there. Maybe there was a time when you were like, this would be great, but they don't need to be there. So let's talk about 3 strategies that you can use right now, to streamline what is happening in your day and not lower expectations and not minimize the impact of an IEP. In fact, if you follow these 3 things, you most likely are going to create a bigger impact for a child who has an IEP. So let's just jump right in. Number 1, you need to make sure that everything that you are focused on is focused like the IEP should be. So what that means is, in the purpose and findings of ideal law, we have that every child gets a free and appropriate public education. You guys know I don't like that word appropriate. That's what we end up arguing about. What I think is appropriate is different than what you think is appropriate, which is different than what, Miss Smith thinks is appropriate. So we need to look to the second and third kind of phrases in this purpose and findings of ideal law. Remember, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm just telling you where to look. So it's free and appropriate public education to meet a child's unique needs and to prepare the child for further education, employment, and independent living. That's it. It's not to keep up with the other kids. It's not to, not that I don't want them to keep up with other kids, okay? And we talk about this in other podcasts. What I'm saying is we have a very clear focus that is streamlined, that is this going to help the child in the future? Like, you ever hear people ask that question, like, is this going to matter 5 years from now? And if the answer is no, then it's like, well, then why are we doing it? That's what I'm talking about. So further education, employment, independent living. If you are working on things within the IEP structure that don't fall into one of those 3 categories, let's talk about it as a team and streamline what we really are working on. So number 1, get real passionate about further education, employment, independent living, meeting a child's unique needs, and staying in that lane of the purpose of an IEP. If it doesn't fit into the purpose, it is not a necessary part of the IEP. Now, there's a lot of things that fit into that purpose. I get it, but there's a lot of things that don't. All right, so let's talk about the second thing. This is what I call the sparklers and the sprinkles that we put, like all that like fun, fancy, cute stuff that we do as parents and teachers. Guess what? If you're overwhelmed, this is not your season to be super cute. That's okay. Stop it. Stop it. So for all the teachers that are stressing out over the bulletin board, that's, got the wrong season, the wrong lesson, the wrong whatever up on it. So what? So what? Stop it. Get off of Pinterest and all the things that are so super cute. And this would make it so fun. You know what? Our job is to stick to that foundation of further education, employment, independent living, and meeting a child's unique needs. We do that through providing an appropriate education. An appropriate education is not judged upon the bulletin board or the cutesy lesson or the little, gifts that are given out at whatever, milestone it is in the school year. So if you want to do those fun things, if they fuel you, fantastic. You have time to do the basics and build on the foundation of an IEP. Plus, you have time to do the other things because that just gives you energy, like it lights you up. Great. Most people are not finding fuel from those things. They're being drained. So I'll give you an example. World Down Syndrome Day was not that long ago. And I'm seeing all of these moms that are putting together moms of children with Down syndrome putting together, the crazy socks or extra packs of gum because, Down syndrome, extra chromosome, right? So like extra, and they're doing all these things. Now, if that fuels the mom, if that's the mom that's like, yes, like I want to spread Down syndrome awareness, but crazy socks and extra gum on this day, and I'm staying up till midnight, making sure all the things are done. If that makes you happy, great. If it doesn't, stop it. So I'm a special needs sibling, right? I don't spread awareness by exhausting myself till midnight and making things cute. Now that's not to say that I didn't go through a season like that. That I didn't go through a season for my own children of making sure like all the things were just right. But just know that one day of socks and extra gum, or we have Autism Awareness Month that's coming up. And there's going to be all these different things that are happening all over, and you're going to feel this obligation possibly to get involved in all the things. You don't have to. All right. This may not be your season to do that. It's going to be somebody else's season to do that. That's okay. You don't have to be the person all the time putting all, like I said, the sparklers and the sprinkles inside of the IEP process. It is important to have things like awareness, to make sure that we're promoting inclusion, to make sure we're doing all of that. But we don't need to do that to the point of exhaustion and at the expense of letting go of the foundation of the IEP, because a lot of times these sparklers and sprinkles and all these little extras tend to overwhelm our time and our focus, which then leaves this foundation in the dust. And then we got to go figure out, what are we doing? What's going on? So here's your permission to not be that mom or that teacher that is doing all the things just to overwhelm yourself, hoping that it's going to have this long-lasting impact, when really, I'm just calling it like it is. The long-lasting impact is making sure that a child who learns differently is prepared for further education, employment, and independent living at a whole different level than generations in the past. That's a huge impact. Now let's talk about the third thing. The third thing is that if you have found yourself saying, I forgot to do that, or I should have checked in, or I should have checked on that, I was supposed to do that. If you're finding yourself saying that about things that are not one-time things, but there are things that happen all the time. So as a parent, maybe you're like, oh, I forgot to check in with the speech therapist again. Oh, I forgot to ask for the data when I got the progress reports. Like I just got this progress report and I was going to follow up on it because I don't even know what this really means for my child. So I really need to figure this out. And then, oops, here came the next report card in the next quarter. And you're like, shoot, last time I was going to follow up on this and I never really did. And now here we are and another report card has come or another progress note. Now for teachers, you've got so many things that are happening like, oh, I was supposed to check in with that parent. I was supposed to, and I wanted to, and I needed to, and this was supposed to happen. And if you're finding yourself, again, forgetting things or feeling overwhelmed by things that happen more than once, you need a system. I don't know what that system is for you. I'm not going to tell you I have the end all be all system. I have been through so many systems of things. And you know what? My system changes based on the season of life that I'm in. So I had one system that was working really, really well in my personal and my work life. It was going great until I outgrew it. And I outgrew that system. And about a month ago, I switched over to a new system. And I'm like, oh, like, here we go. I feel productive again. I've got things organized. The reminders are working. The task lists are working. Everything's working really great. So at some point, I may outgrow this system too. Gosh, I hope not, because it's working right now, right? That's how we feel. We're like, oh, we're doing something, it's working. And then all of a sudden it's not working. And we're forgetting things again. And the tasks aren't getting completed. And we're spending a lot of time trying to remember what we're supposed to do. You been there? Maybe you're there right now. You're spending a lot of time trying to remember what you're supposed to do. You need a system. You need to spend the time to find a system to help you get organized in the things. So you are not wasting time trying to remember what you forgot, and you're not wasting time feeling guilty over the things that you meant to do, but you didn't do, or worrying about what is up and coming next. All those things are energy suckers. Like they're just going to wipe you out. And then you feel like I didn't get anything done, but I'm exhausted. It's because there's not a system. So here's your permission. Here's your permission if you needed to hear it, that this overwhelm, that all of these fluffy things that you're doing, that they're not necessary. It's okay to let it go. And maybe your season will come again before you even know it to add some things back on. I know you have great ideas. I know that you want to make things amazing. I know you want the best experience for your child and for your student. We're on a mission though, right? We're on a mission to make sure that these years that are spent in school are the most impactful as possible. So to do that, we stick to the foundation, preparing a child for further education, employment, and independent living by meeting their unique needs. We're making sure that we're not adding extra things onto our list that don't need to be there, that take us away from that foundation. And we're making sure that we have a system that works to implement that foundation every day without us wasting our time and energy on things that we forgot or things we're worried about we have to remember to do. On that note, I hope you guys have an amazing day. I hope you go look at your to-do list. I hope you go look at your week. I hope you go look at your month and you take things off your calendar and off your list that don't fit the big picture of preparing a child for the future. Remember, if you guys took anything away from this, you got a nugget, you're like, yes, I need to do that. Please make sure to share this with a fellow special education parent or teacher. Make sure to leave a comment. Make sure to leave a review on iTunes. That's how we get this information out to more parents and teachers so we can make sure that everybody is raising their expectations and everybody is expecting great things from special education because it is possible. I've seen it. We're going to create more of it. Keep your eye out for things that are coming for our Master IEP Coach Network, for our Master IEP Coach Mentorship. We got VIP weekends that are coming in all different cities. So you're going to want to make sure you don't miss out on that. Go to iepmasterclass.com. Make sure you get your freebies and then you get all the announcements of all the things that are up and coming. Now go take things off your list, off your calendar. Rethink what is important. Set up a system for it. You guys got this.